If there's one comic that's a canary in the coal mine, it's absolutely 1000% Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is the brainchild of Sana Amanat, who I think is patient zero for this whole SJW nonsense that's been consuming comics in general, and is actually destroying the industry as a whole. But Sana Amanat created, or at least is one of the creators of Miss Marvel, and the whole point of it was that she wanted to have a comic book character that fully exemplified what she thought children want. Now, if there's one thing that we know about these crazy, insane 20-something SJWs, it's that they don't really know what people want. They don't live in society. They get all their kind of interpersonal skills from TV shows, notably Friends. I noticed they're all obsessed with the television show Friends. That's why I think they all end up moving to like New York and just taking over completely. And the other thing is from just pop culture in general. And I think that this issue of Miss Marvel shows that completely. Now, if we look at it, the issue deals with them going into this kind of time warp. It's not really a time warp, it's kind of like an interdimensional warp. And they're basically in different video games, and they go through different levels. If you've played any video game within the last 15 years, you'll know that this idea of levels in video games is kind of outdated. The vast majority of video games don't actually have levels anymore. It was just something that they did in arcades so that they can convince you to continue playing so you can see different stages. Even the video games that would have like sections, it's more considered that they have set pieces. So for instance, a game like Tomb Raider, Drake's Fortune, those games, they're on a rail. You're going through set pieces. So Miss Marvel, there's like 5 different writers on this. They apparently just gave everybody like 3 to 4 pages to write. And it's the usual suspects of people. You have G. Willow Wilson, obviously. You have Eve Ewing, who's like the new like it girl. Jim Zub, who we all know Jim Zub. And Saladin Ahmed. Of course, Saladin Ahmed. It's a who's who of SJWs. So the first about 9 pages is Kamala Khan dealing with this kind of internal crisis that she's having, where she just feels very blasé. It's extremely one world problem. And at a certain point, she actually says about how privileged she is, but she still feels this way, and that she knows that she's okay feeling this way. And then she uses this term self-actualization, which if you're not a social worker and you're using the term self-actualization, you're probably an SJW. Because I've never heard anybody else use that term except for them. First couple pages are her just going through her town and just being very blasé about everything and being really depressed. And it's just nonsense. And we know what they're doing. They're kind of trying to pander to this too woke crowd where you're so woke that you hate yourself. Because in the end, all these people actually just hate themselves. And then when she gets finally to, what is this, like a cafe or a bakery that her friends run for some goddamn forsaken reason, you have just stupid shitty comedy. She walks in, her friend's like, oh, have you ever wondered if the universe is just like one giant atom? Have you been drinking hairspray or something? Hey now, Zoe is attempting to contemplate fourth dimensional space using only the brain power of a reformed mean girl. Let's be nice. It's not funny. It's not funny. Is that funny? It's not funny. This is sitcom writing. This is really like Big Bang Theory writing. Because this is something I can see them saying, and then you have the laugh track playing in the background, and then people laugh, and you're just sitting there like, wait, am I supposed to be laughing right now? In a comic, it's even worse, because you don't even have that if you're supposed to laugh. Then Kamala Khan comes in, and she gives her whole speech about how, oh my god, I'm too popular, and I hate it. I know this is terrible, and I have a million amazing people in my life, and I have food and shelter, and I'm as close to self-actualization as anyone gets. But I'm tired and bored of the cognitive dissonance. That's another phrase they love using. And it's hitting me super hard right now. It's just like, are these heroes? Are these heroes? It's ridiculous. Anyway, so then they go through different stages, and they go through different like quest lines, and it's just a running gambit of different tired cliches of video games. But it's really interesting because if you actually read it, it's people who haven't played video games since Super Nintendo, and their whole association with video games now is just listening to other people talk about them, or like watching the occasional YouTube video about the games. So I mean, they give a shout out to like streamers at a certain point, and she runs around to these different games. She fulfills different quests. There's one quest in particular that's hilarious because they go after a Minotaur, and they finally meet the Minotaur. And the Minotaur is the biggest beta male you've ever seen in your life. At a certain point, he goes, Kamala says, "Oh, come on, for a Minotaur, you're not very assertive." And the Minotaur says, "You're the second person to tell me that today." And who was the first? And the Minotaur goes, "Me." Wow. Man, this thing makes me want to kill myself. So it's just absolutely ridiculous. They don't even fight the Minotaur. There's no stakes. I've noticed in these comic books, there's never any stakes. Nothing's ever actually happening. There's no like end goal. And the end goal was, oh, friends, like you keep your friends close, and they'll get you through everything. These are the type of people I've noticed this. There's an association between people I hate and people who celebrate Friendsgiving. If anybody ever told me they celebrate Friendsgiving, I immediately reevaluate them. Not my friendship with them, but I just reevaluate what I think I know about them, because I don't want to get into a whole thing about my experience with people, but it's just something interesting to know. It's the same way that they're all wrestling fans. It's just something very interesting. The rest of the book is just like trash. Like, I don't understand. And they meet their former selves, and I guess they come to some like stunning realization that people change, and that it kind of makes them realize that being together is the important thing. I don't know. It's freaking weird. And that's the comic. And you pay for it. You pay $4 for this. You pay $4. Can you believe you pay $4 for this? Oh my God. Why would you do this to yourself? Honestly. Why would anybody do this to themselves? Anyway, and then G. Willow Wilson later on announces that she is stepping down from writing Miss Marvel, which I think the vast majority of us knew. I haven't even been following stuff and I knew that. So anyway, and of course they're rebooting Miss Marvel to Magnificent Miss Marvel with Saladin Ahmed writing it, and it's gonna be trash. It's gonna be trash. There's no way it's good. There's 0% chance of it being good at all. Anyway, whatever. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me at Trajan Channel on Twitter. Don't buy this book. Don't buy it. Although I know none of you are buying this shit.